professionals undergo 10,000 hours of rigorous training, 1,200 hours in the classroom, and 9,300 hours of hands-on experience. That's the kind of expertise you can count on. For superior service and cost-effective solutions, partner with the best. Visit steam601.org to view our list of signatory contractors. Steamfitters Local 601, keepers of the craft, powering Wisconsin.
I got into injury law because it is complex.
Brett Eckstein, attorney at Cannon & Dunphy.
And today's law is contradictory. It needs an experienced team of lawyers to work together to make the law work for people who are seriously hurt through no fault of their own. My partners and I are dedicated to helping people every day. And like all good organizations, we don't do it alone. If we can help you, please call us or learn more about Cannon & Dunphy on our social channels.
Is back pain slowing you down? The OAW Spine Center offers specialized care with advanced treatments for herniated discs, spinal fusion, and more. Their board-certified orthopedic care specialists use the least invasive methods, starting with non-surgical options. If surgery is needed, they provide minimally invasive procedures. The OAW Spine specialists focus on getting you back to an active lifestyle faster. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit oawspinecenter.com.
Hey, I went to the new place. They didn't have everything, but the bananas were on sale.
Wait, why didn't you go to Woodman's?
Hi, we're the Woodmans.
I'm Clint.
I'm Phil.
Other stores promote a few items but charge more for everything else.
At Woodman's, you save big time money on your whole grocery bill.
I even use the app to compare prices.
Oh my gosh, talk about receipt regret.
Our work here is done.
Service and savings. It's Woodman's.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Get out of here and go!
Covering the crew all season long on WTMJ, it's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee at the Avenue. Here is your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
Blah. That just was one of those games that's just one of them games. It's the first time in a while that the Brewers really didn't play up to their snuff, didn't play up to their standard, didn't play, clean fundamental baseball for about 3 innings in a row, and it cost them the game. They lose today 8-4 in a game that, we billed as this great pitching matchup between Max Scherzer and Brandon Woodruff, and well, neither one of them pitched all that great in this one. The Blue Jays win the finale. The Brewers still win the series. And now all eyes shift to Denver as to see if the Rockies can hang on against the Cubs. And the Brewers could remain 6.5 games up on Chicago with no harm done. They would be up 6.5 games with 24 games to go. It would get real fast on any double dip where the Brewers win and the Cubs lost. But that's down the road. We'll keep an eye on that game. It'll go final during our program here on WTMJ. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. 855-616-1620. Brewers fall. Let's get you caught up to speed with the highlight recap.
Ready for this?
Out of here!
This?
Brought it back! Ho, ho, ho!
And this?
It is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
Max Scherzer getting the ball for the Blue Jays. He's been really good since he came off the injured list for Toronto up against Brandon Woodruff. Now, the Brewers got some hustle from Jackson Chourio with 1 out in the first inning on an infield single that probably should have been challenged. The Blue Jays did not choose to. So a man aboard, and then with 2 outs, William Contreras really made them regret not challenging.
Contreras 1 for 9 in the series. And he launches one down the left field line. This one is back. It is at the track. Gone. William Contreras, a 2-run blast. And the Brewers out to a 2-0 lead here in the top of the first.
Oh, man, it was the exact start that you would want, right? Especially with Brandon Woodruff on the mound. And, well, in the bottom of the first inning, it was an inauspicious start with a hit-by-pitch to George Springer with 2 strikes on him. But he struck out Addison Barger on 3 pitches. Then, on a 2-2 pitch to Vlad Jr., a bouncing ball was hit to first. It was handled over there by Vaughn, but he double pumps because there's a miscommunication at second base. Both Bryce Terang and Andrew Monasterio converge onto second base, and neither one of them received the throw. It deflects and goes into left center field. and it allows the inning to extend. It should have been an inning-ending double play. Instead, it'll be runners on the bases loaded, I should say, with or second and third, I should say, with only one out. And, of course, those runs would come in to score. A 2-run double down the line by Nathan Lucas, and then an Ernie Clement bloop single into shallow right center field. That came with 2 strikes and 2 outs. So the Blue Jays respond with a 3-2 lead. The Brewers get a chance their second time through against Max Scherzer, and in the third, it was the soon-to-be Player of the Month for August, Bryce Terang.
0-1. Lifted deep to left. Backing up on it is Lucas. Still back. Onto the track, watching it fly. Goodbye, Bryce Terang. What a way to cap off his powerful month of August. It's an opposite field blast to get the Brewers back within a run, 4-3, leading off the third.
What was that about the Brewers not having any slug? In this series, they got a home run from each of Terang, Chourio, Yelich, and Contreras. Their top 4 in the order. Great news to see those guys going in the right direction. They weren't done in the third, but this is where some of the mistakes would start to mount on the Brewers. Down by a run, Chourio would hit a sunball double into right field that was dropped out there. But, hey, you take the gift. But Christian Yelich hit a shot to deep center that Chourio didn't tag up on to go second and third. It was no matter because William Contreras was next.
The 3-1. Fly ball to right field is deep. Barger turns around. He is back. Won't catch it. It's up off the top of the wall. Around third is Chourio, and he will score. Great job to play the carom by Addison Barger, and it ends up being one of the longest singles you'll ever see.
Well, part of the reason it was a long single is because William was admiring it a little bit too long, but he's aboard. Sal Frelick would then single into center because then if he's on second base, maybe there's an opportunity for William to try to score. But no matter, first and second, still only one out in the frame, and then a big mistake by William Contreras trying to make up for his mistake in that a fly ball to center, not a ball that you want to tag up on, that was shallow right center, and Straw's got a great arm. Contreras tried to test it, and he gets thrown out at third to end the inning. Then in the bottom half of the third, Woodruff would survive a leadoff walk and try to get the offense going again for the Brewers offense, but with 2 outs, nobody on, Andrew Monasterio, a clean single up the middle. All right, get the rally going. Terang, a single into right. Now you got men on the corners, and Jackson Chourio up. Chourio up there battling against Scherzer. 2 strikes, and then on an 0-2 pitch, just kind of a head-scratching moment.
High set by Scherzer. He is ready to go. There goes the runner, and the pitch is high and away. They throw through to second base. Second baseman comes in front of the plate, breaking for home on a stereo. Second baseman throws home, and Mona's tagged out.
Just a thing you can't do, with your best hitter maybe at the plate. Monasterio was shown on replays from FanDuel Wisconsin saying that, with him and Pat Murphy having an animated conversation in the dugout, and it ended with Pat Murphy slamming his hat, walking away from Mona. So kind of suggests how that conversation went. It might have been a missed sign or something like that. So instead of having 2 men aboard for Jackson Chourio down by a run, or rather in a tie game, I should say, the Brewers end up not having another opportunity the rest of the game, because that was the story of it. In the 5th, they load the bases down by a run after another couple of infield hits and misplays by the Brewers, not quite getting the balls in the outfield. That made it 5-4 Blue Jays. The Brewers loaded the bases on a pair of errors with nobody out in the 5th, but failed to score there, and that was really all she wrote, because then a 3-run bottom of the 5th would chase Brandon Woodruff from this game, and that would be it for the offense of the Blue Jays, because then Tobias Myers and Rob Zastryzny would keep things scoreless the rest of the way, and it would be an 8-4 final score. So the Blue Jays salvaged the finale. Brandon Woodruff was not particularly sharp, nor were the Brewers. Let's talk about what went wrong and start to get ready to wrap up this 19-game stretch finally tomorrow, coming home for the Phils. 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Group, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We've sold over $300 million in real estate since 2020, one of the top-ranked real estate teams in Wisconsin, and we're just getting started. What sets us apart? We care. Even if we're not your agent, we'll still help. That's the kind of stewardship the community deserves. If you're buying or selling across southeastern Wisconsin, let us earn your trust. I'm Tony Wendorf, and I want to create your red carpet experience. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
Summer's not done yet. Be here September 1st when the Brewers host the Phillies, and get ready because we're celebrating the long weekend with $1 Hot Dog Day at the Labor Day game. Get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. So he said to me, "Boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders." And I said, "You betcha." And he said, "Do you mind if I cherry pick?" And I said, "Feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want." Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers fall today 8-4. All right. Still won a series against one of the American League's best. 2 out of 3. Ain't that bad. We'll keep an eye on the Cubs and the Rockies here. The Rockies have added on. It's 5-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning in Denver. Rockies in front. So that's good news. That game will go final in a little bit. Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. If you're looking for a banking partner that truly understands your business needs, look no further than Fifth Third Bank. With a local team right here in Milwaukee, they know how to hit it out of the park every time. And for 15 years, they've been serving our community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making that helps your business thrive. Experience a unique commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. We welcome in Craig Kashan here on the program. And Craig, I mean, there's no other way to describe this game other than the Brewers beat themselves. I really do think that the Brewers maybe played their worst game of the year today. They would tell you that as well. But at the end of the day, there's 162 of these for a reason. They're not all going to be perfect, but just so many little errors that we haven't seen this team make. Not necessarily errors in the box score, but little things that add up, and then you're just sitting there, and the looks on Murph's face said it all, of just his mouth agape of just, what is going on to my team right now on this Sunday? This looks like I'm back in college baseball coaching a Sunday game when you've got all of the freshmen and sophomores pitching in it, and the guys are taking a day, whatever it may be. Just was not Brewers baseball today, but oh well, shake it off and leave it in Toronto.
Yeah, this is a classic example of when people say, why do they play so many baseball games? Why was this sport invented with playing every single day? Well, part of winning is the mental test and the physical test. It's like golf. Why do only the pro golfers walk and no one else does? I love to drive around in a cart and have a beer and golf and have a good time with it, yet I'm still competitive. So all those things. But I think the bottom line to this game, this was not a game they were mailing in. They were going for the sweep. They're going for every win they possibly can. All you have to do is look at the starting lineup. There was nobody in that lineup that shouldn't have been there, that's for sure. So, but it didn't work out. They had a nice early lead. And then mentally, they just kind of collapsed a little bit. So everyone's entitled, I guess, to have games like that. You can't feel horrible, that's for sure. But you certainly can't come out tomorrow and allow any of this to happen, because this is a full week of going up against teams that this weekend you could potentially see in the World Series, and tomorrow with the Phillies coming to town, the team that maybe you have to beat to get there. So these are big tests coming up, and they're just going to have to, put this day behind them and regroup. That's for sure.
And let's be clear, they still passed the test. Instead of it being an A+ and maybe a 5 on their AP test, this was still a 4 on the AP test, and they still maybe got a B+, A-. Given the way they play, they still outscored them for the series. Like I just said a moment ago, they got homers from each of the first 4 in the lineup at some point. Bryce Terang, I believe, rubber-stamped his August Player of the Month candidacy today with another homer, another pair of hits for him. Jackson Churio had a 4-hit game today. Yelly was a little quiet today, but he deserves, he can have a day. William continues to be hot here in the month of August, too. So, yes, it would have been perfect baseball to go 3-0 against the Blue Jays. And, well, the Brewers didn't play perfect baseball today, and they easily left 3 runs on the board, whether it be runs they could have taken off or runs they could have scored. You know, you look at least 2 in that first inning with the poor throw and the bad communication at second base between Bryce and Monasterio on what should have been a double play. You look at the runs that they should have had in the 5th inning with bases loaded, nobody out, then they failed to get a ball out of the infield with a ground out, strikeout, ground out. Or then even the double play in the 3rd by William Contreras, that was runners on 1st and 2nd, 1 out, then the inning ends. Or even, of course, the big one, in my opinion, this was the one that Monasterio understands he made a mistake, is that running home, it could have been 2nd and 3rd for Jackson Chourio. If Chourio strikes out with 2nd and 3rd, all right, you missed an opportunity. That happens in baseball. But you took the bat out of his hands. That's what made this game so frustrating. The Brewers pretty much made a mistake in inning the first 4 innings of this game.
Yeah, I mean, you could go on and on. I mean, the other thing that probably hasn't happened all year either is the 3rd out was made at third base, and the 3rd out was made at home plate in running errors. And one of those is the one you mentioned, too, of trying to take home on the double steal. So, yeah, this was just a misplayed game by the Brewers. And I think if you do look at the silver lining, yes, they had some opportunities to make sure runs didn't come home and failed on some opportunities to bring them home as well. But, man, this team has been playing so well. You got to forgive them, I guess, on this one today. You really have no choice at this point, but you can't win them all. I think going into this series, I think a lot of people have been happy, as good as Toronto has been this season and best record in the AL going into this series, to even win one game, but very happy to win the series, and they were able to accomplish that at the very least. And they're going to be better rested and hopefully in a better position to play tomorrow afternoon at 3:00 than the Phillies will, because they play a night game on the road in Atlanta before they come up to Milwaukee. So it's going to be a quick turnaround for them, not to get ahead too far here on your post-game show.
Yeah, I agree. But then you look at it for the Brewers today, you know, aside from the top of the order, not a lot going on from the rest of this order. We'll talk about Woodruff in the next segment too, but you get all that production from the top 5 in the order. Vaughn was 0 for 3. Collins was 0 for 4. Durbin was 0 for 3. Monasterio, yes, he got 2 hits, but we talked about the mistakes he also made today too. You know, normally you get more production up and down this order when they're getting wins. Yes, they had 13 hits, but they were really condensed between a handful of guys. So in my opinion, this was a game that the Brewers, yes, you could say they could have won, but in my opinion, I don't think they should have won it because they did not play to their standard.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. And, you know, sometimes, you know, this top of the order, which is becoming awfully potent, you know, especially the top 5 right now, very potent. There are a lot of games where they can carry an offense, but when they're the ones that, you know, are loading the bases up with nobody out, and then the bottom half has to come through and they don't, it's just those types of things have almost become rare over the last few months. And I think we expect a lot out of this team. And today they just, you know, they just collectively top to bottom couldn't come through. But I'm telling you what, Dom, all the talk we're doing about Terang and Chourio and Yelich and Contreras and Frelick, the consistency that these guys have right now with the bats, I'm still feeling awfully, awfully good about what's to come here as we go to September 1st tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really fired up for what the Brewers can have on the horizon. 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. I hesitate, but I'll go ahead and welcome Brian from Tosa. Brian, you're live on Brewers Extra Innings.
Don't hesitate, Dom. I'm not going to rain on the parade. This is a symptom of, what is it, the 18th game or 17th game in 18 days. They're due for a clunker.
This is 18 and 17 days today.
I just think mentally they're kind of strained. It was just a series of things. Woodruff wasn't sharp. You know, they didn't help him out sometimes, but he wasn't as sharp as he's been. You flush it, you move on. The only concern is we got to get these out of the regular season, because when we get in the playoffs, we do something like this, that is going to magnify it and then potentially, you know, hurt us and put us in a hole if we do it in the first game of the series. Otherwise, they've been great. I have no complaints. I'm not panicking. I just, it's just, you got to just chalk it up to one of those days.
Yeah. No, I do think you were very quiet in the first 2 wins, Brian. But, as soon as I appreciate you being the glass half full for once there, Brian. Appreciate the call of just making sure that, hey, flush it, move on. It'll be all okay. Aaron from Illinois agrees on the text line. Disappointing day, but still a great series win. Outscored them, a couple of miscues. Otherwise, could have been a sweep. And the bullpen did look good, and good to have Rob Zastryzny back as well. Let's take a breather. Back with more after this on 620 WTMJ.
It's the end of summer here in the Milwaukee area, but soon enough, you'll be dealing with cold winter temperatures once again. Time to have Window Nation replace your home's windows in 1 day or less. Right now, get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. You could also score 2 tickets to a Brewers game if you replace all the windows in your home. Hurry, Milwaukee, this sale ends soon. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com right now. Window Nation is a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Analyzing the news from the perspective of those in the field. Hey, it's WTMJ's Adam Roberts. Join me every Sunday at 10 for Reporter's Notebook, where we take a deeper dive behind the biggest stories of the past week, told from the perspective of the reporters, anchors, and news directors making decisions behind the scenes and covering the stories you hear every single day.
Bringing you the story behind the story. It's Reporter's Notebook, Sunday mornings at 10 on WTMJ. This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers fall today 8-4. They're still in first place, not only in the division, but in Major League Baseball. Brewers Extra Innings brought to you by Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. Keep your home running right with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. And when you book a service call this month, you'll be entered to win a $250 home improvement gift card through their Fix It and Win It event. Head to cider.com to book today. With Craig Kishon, I'm Dom Cotroneo. The final line for Brandon Woodruff reads 4 1/3, 10 hits, 8 runs, only 5 were earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 89 pitches, 59 were strikes. Yes, there were a couple of dying quails that fell in front of outfielders that maybe on a different day or a more familiar ballpark they're caught. But also, yes, with 2 strikes, Brandon Woodruff had a hard time against the Blue Jays. They woke up as far as their propensity to avoid strikeouts like we saw today. What are you more concerned with about Brandon Woodruff? Is it the lack of swing and miss, or is it the fact that Woodruff didn't complete 5 innings today and just had a lot of long battles, a couple of, he had the hit by pitch with 2 strikes on Springer, he had the couple of walks, one of them came around to score. Is it the command or is it the swing and miss that you're concerned about right now?
Well, I mean, quite honestly, I would say both, but I think if his command, and it's been off for a couple of games, I think, especially towards the tail end of his last game, if his command's on, the swing and miss is probably going to return more, but it certainly wasn't there at all, it seemed like today, Dom. But I think when I look, you just have to start with command for a guy like Woody or any really successful pitcher. So, maybe he's just going through one of these things where he had, he was out for a long time, Dom, and kind of came back. And as soon as he started pitching again, he was kind of dominant. And I think everybody kind of goes through a little bit of a learning curve on, the whole adjustment thing. And he's also probably just, with that command, just a little bit off here right now, and he's trying to figure it out. he's too smart not to be able to figure it out, and he's too talented not to be able to figure it out. So, hopefully he's going to get it back, in a hurry here and be able to use these 4 or 5 days between starts for him to make that adjustment, because it doesn't seem like he's off. And when a guy's off a little bit the way he was today, when you can't get the outs and you come up with the 3 unearned runs and all that, it doesn't make your day any easier, of course, and it kind of magnifies where you're struggling. And I think kind of we saw all that today.
The big thing that I point out with him is not only the swing and miss, but specifically the lack of swing and miss with the changeup. He didn't have the same command that he usually does with that pitch. He only got 1 whiff on the changeup today out of 6 total swings. But furthermore, between his 3 types of fastballs, his 4-seamer, his sinker, and his cutter, okay, the Blue Jays swung at 39 of those fastballs. They only swung and missed at 3 of them. And I understand velo is part of this in that he doesn't get the same velocity that he's had in the past. He topped out at 94.6 today. We're not concerned about that he continues to show that the velocity is sticking at this new normal of 92, 93, touching 94, 95. But if he's going to continue to insist on 2-strike fastballs, the location needs to be a little bit better. There are a lot of 2-strike fastballs that caught a lot of the plate that, A, are not meant to be swung and missed by big league hitters, and B, if he's going to abandon the changeup and the changeup didn't have the same thing, he only threw 2 curveballs today, and one of them was in the second batter of the game, and Addison Barger. He doesn't trust the curveball or the sweeper yet. I think teams are starting to understand the scouting report is, hey, you're probably going to get a heater and get ready for it, and we saw the Blue Jays ready with that scouting report today.
Yeah, seeing it and all those things, you hope that he can fix, and not lose like you're saying with that curveball on Barger, that's second batter of the game. And if he felt like it wasn't there the rest of the way, you just got to question, well, you had it early. How'd you lose it so fast? And can you get back to that? Of course he probably can. But, I just really feel like he's kind of in between, where he should be, where he thinks he needs to be here right now. And you could see it, I think, on his face too today. He wore it when those bloop hits went down. He wore it when guys couldn't make catches in the outfield and make plays on the bases. Maybe a little more than we're used to seeing here right now. But I think maybe that goes to show you that he knows he's not himself. He's not as sharp as he wants to be here right now. So there's still some time here yet. And if you can get Woody back on track to being the dominant Brandon Woodruff here in a hurry, September should be a good run for him, and exactly what all of us were hoping to see and count on with his return as late in the season as it turned out to be.
The expectation at this point would be for him to start on Saturday against the Pirates. That's with an extra day off naturally because of this off day coming up on Tuesday. You don't need to rearrange the rotation in any way. That's going to be the start that I'm excited for because, A, Pirates' offense is not very good, pitching in a pitcher's park as well, but also how quick do we see the adjustments? Do we see him continue to trust the fastball? Do we see him a little bit sharper with the extra day of rest? Granted, he pitched on Tuesday as well, or on Monday, I should say, as well, and got the extra day again here this time. Are the Brewers prioritizing the extra day for these final 25 games? Because he said it, and Chris Hook has said it, it makes a big difference for Brandon Woodruff when he gets an extra day, now that the Brewers are finally getting off days coming back around.
Yeah, I mean, especially right now. Especially for pitchers that have been going at it all season long, it's very important. But for Woody to not have to pitch, not having pitched for almost 2 years, you just don't know how your body's going to react to it right now. And look, we saw a struggle to finish his last game like we normally don't see from Woody, and there may be part of that carryover that we saw in today's game as well. He was fighting himself, and having those extra days, if I'm giving anybody an extra day or stretching it out the way they did with Quinn Priester between his last 2 starts, I mean, if that's important, then you have to consider things like that too. No matter, you can't just expect him to be fresh because he hasn't pitched in he made 10 starts, 11 starts, whatever it is. That doesn't always hold it sometimes for what he went through.
Yeah, so he'll try to get it right over these last probably 4 more starts for him before the postseason rolls around for the Brewers. By the way, to report in Colorado, games are never over at Coors, and the Cubs are proving that right now. A 3-run homer from Ian Happ, so that is 5-5 in the top of the 8th inning at Coors Field. So we'll be reacting to that live here for the next 30 minutes or so on the program. Craig, I'll keep you real quick for one more. Talk a couple of positives and get ready to close out this 19-in-a-row stretch with the Phillies and maybe some roster improvements on the way on 620 WTMJ.
Even your pickiest eater will say yes to this. Crispy chicken tenders are now at Cousin Subs. Perfect on their own with a favorite dipping sauce, or stacked in one of our 2 new subs. Classic crispy chicken or bold Buffalo Ranch crispy chicken. Made with quality chicken and served on our fresh baked bread. It's a mealtime win for kids and grown-ups. But hurry, these crispy favorites are only here for a limited time. Order in store, online, or on the app today. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
My gut tells me that this summer heat's gonna last, and that means your AC's gonna be put through the paces. Now, we all know that AC can take a licking and keep on ticking, especially if it's an Armstrong. But when yours needs to be put out to pasture, call Quality. With over 70 vehicles on the road, we'll be there in a hurry. And with over 60 years of experience, how can you go wrong?
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. I don't have to tell you that a lot of dust and other junk collects in your ductwork. And it doesn't just sit there. It's blowing around in your home. And that jeopardizes your home health. The commercial industrial duct cleaning system we use at Quality darn near sucked the shirt right off our tech the first time he used it. Believe me, not everybody has this powerful of a system. It's unlike any other. At Quality, you get the best duct cleaning, period. So call Quality first for your duct cleaning needs.
For the signature service you deserve.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Hey, Debbie, southbound 794. There was just an accident. Right now, it looks like at least one lane is closed.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, on the WTMJ traffic tip line, 414-238-9329.
Highway 45 southbound. A tire came off of a car.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it?
Northbound 41 at Burleigh. 3 vehicle accident just happened in front of me.
Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers fall today 8-4. Let's do some buying or selling. It's brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, trust Tony Wendorf and Associates, one of the top real estate teams in Wisconsin and part of First Weber Real Estate Services. They bring faith, family, and red carpet experience to every home deal. So let's step up to the plate together. WendorfTeam.firstweber.com. All right, Craig Kashan, one of the things that I'm buying is the fact that the Brewers are getting a chance to replenish, to get some breathers, get some guys off their feet because they get an off day on Tuesday. They get maybe 2 guys back tomorrow, I imagine, with both Joey Ortiz and Rhys Hoskins, I would imagine, be activated off the injury list today. Rhys is not official. Joey, it seems, all but imminent. The last test is for him to hit on the field before the game tomorrow. And then furthermore, the Brewers will be able to add one more pitcher to their bullpen too. So I'm buying the fact that this team is making it through this 19 in a row, albeit the record, a win tomorrow makes it a 10-9 stretch over that 19 in a row, which signed me up for at the start of that. Amen. But I'm buying the fact that the Brewers end up sort of okay despite losing their closer in the middle of this stretch.
Yeah, for sure. I'm buying it as well. You know, the injuries just seem to be mounting. It seemed like somebody was going down almost every other day there for a pretty good stretch. And, once they get Ortiz and Rhys Hoskins back, and if that does happen tomorrow, that's great. They could use both of them. And then it's just the targets is getting McGill back. And then, bullpen's just gotta hang on until then. It's going to be their turn to hang on. And it's, hopefully they'll be able to pull through that. But I think today, that in my opinion, today we saw Monasterio getting, tested, I think, mentally, hanging on to that shortstop spot that he's had with Ortiz out the whole time. I thought Mono was playing his best baseball of his major league career during this stretch. Offensively, he's helped out a great deal. He's made some big plays at shortstop. But there are times in games where you need a field leader, and Joey Ortiz is the one that has emerged. Obviously, he had to, being the new shortstop, but it was a rough beginning for him this season to adjust to that. And he has now become the field general, and you need that guy back in the final month. So it'll be good to have him back. And then Rhys Hoskins, I'm sure he's going to play some first base and give Andrew Vaughn a blow. I think Andrew Vaughn, too, might be in his first real rut. But he's played a lot if you consider, all the things that he went through. He had a hard time staying in the majors this year and had a rough time in Chicago before that. So I think the Brewers are really going to need Rhys. I don't think he's an odd man out at this point. And if nothing else, he's a veteran guy coming off the bench to provide a bat where their guy like Anthony Siegler just can't do that in a pinch hitting role.
Yeah, and furthermore, this gives, Vaughn finally an opportunity to get a day, to get a couple of days off perhaps. And, we've seen him slow down a few days. I'm selling that he's, oh my gosh, it's all over. He's going back to White Sox, Andrew Vaughn. No, he's going to be fine. He's been playing virtually every day for the last month since, Rhys went down. And even, remember when he arrived, Jake Bauers was on the injured list too during that Dodgers series, which is part of the reason it opened the door for him. So the Brewers, they have played 46 games since he arrived. Today was 47. Well, he's played in 45 of them. He's going to need a breather here. It's not going to be hitting 300 and an 850 OPS the whole way. And getting Rhys back in the fold, giving Andrew Vaughn perhaps a double day off tomorrow if Rhys is activated like I expect him to be. Give him the double day off and say, all right, hey, man, thank you. We've got it from here. We're going to need you down the stretch.
Yeah, I agree 100%. We've seen it, I think, over the last week or so with him. And, this guy's a power hitter. He'll get have a chance to, rest up, get that power back going. But, everybody needs a little mental reset, and one day can certainly do that for a guy, like Vaughn. I didn't realize it was, 45 games played in the 46 since he's been called up. That's a lot to ask out of somebody to carry on the production he did really the first month that he was on this team and just doing just about everything right. So it's hard to keep that going, and this is why you need Rhys back, and it'll be good to get a healthy Rhys Hoskins back too.
Yeah, just to give the number one more time, 45 games out of 47 for the Brewers since he made his Brewers debut against the Dodgers on July the 7th. So the fact that Vaughn, by the way, during this stretch, the Brewers went 33-12 with Andrew Vaughn as the virtual everyday first baseman. They're doing fine. They're doing A-okay. They're going to be in first place when you wake up tomorrow, no matter what happens in Colorado. Craig, it's been a pleasure as always. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. It's a beautiful day for some sunshine and maybe some golf for you, my friend. Go get out there, all right?
We're in it, man. Heading out there tomorrow, Dom. Appreciate everything.
Enjoy the end of summer. Craig Kashan here on 620 WTMJ. I'll answer some of these texts coming up on the other side of the break. We'll hear from Pat Murphy as well on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic strategic partner, Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, we're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Matt LePay for Steinhoffels. Steinhoffels is a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Since 1934, Steinhoffels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress destination for quality, selection, and service. For over 90 years, Steinhoffels has helped Wisconsinites create the homes of their dreams and is 100% employee-owned. Steinhoffels has the largest selection of all the latest styles and all the best mattress brands. You'll find something for every style and every budget. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ. This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Welcome back. Let's get to a player of the game. Despite the loss, 8-4, it's a pretty easy pick. It's Jackson Chourio. Yet another 4-hit game for him. Player of the game is brought to you by International Autos Group. Just like the game's MVP, you can drive in style and save up to $10,000 on in-stock BMWs, Audis, Mercedes-Benz, and more. No tariffs, just huge savings. Visit iamilwaukee.com. International Autos Group, where ordinary needs to be extraordinary. So Chourio, 4 for 5 today, 2 runs scored, a pair of doubles. His season line reads like this. Let's say he plays, of the final 24 games, let's say he plays 20 of them. All right, so let's see him get to 128 games. He's got a better average than he did last year at 284. Now, granted, he'll have 20 games fewer than last season. But a 318 on base, hopefully that gets a little bit higher over these final 20 games, given how hot he has been. His slugging is better. His OPS is better. He has more doubles now. He has as many triples. He could surpass 21 homers. He's at 18 right now. He could surpass 79 RBIs. He's at 68 right now. He could surpass 22 stolen bases. He's at 18 right now. So all things to say that Chourio's getting better. Chourio's improving. And Chourio, another 4-hit day today, 31 doubles. He still leads the team despite missing a month in extra base hits. Like, that's pretty wacky when you sit back and think about it, with 53 extra base hits in his 108 games. And with 20 or so more games for his season, I'm excited to see if he can go like 30 doubles, 20 homers, 20 stolen bases. You know, he came 1 double shy of doing that last season. See if he can do it this season despite missing 29 games worth of action. Again, he's our player of the game today. A couple of texts. This one from Sam in New Berlin. Great effort this weekend, though, to win the series. They had a shot at sweeping, but just made some uncharacteristic, non-fundamental mistakes today. Tobias had some crucial innings to save the bullpen, and should we be mildly concerned about Brandon Woodruff? I'm going to withhold concern until Pittsburgh. You know, 3's a streak. Twice is just back-to-back. You know, to have that bad 6th inning against Arizona, to have this also not go his way today, too. There were a couple balls, you know, the Brewers would like to have back for him. And I wonder if familiarity had something to do with some of those fly balls that seem to always fall at the ankles for the Brewers, of just the lack of confidence on the AstroTurf there, of just how bouncy it was. And you can tell guys were very hesitant about not playing that field for as long as they have. But, you know, if they're back in the World Series in the Fall Classic, they have that to be prepared for when they see him in October. This one from Mark. Brewers swinging at golf balls and the crew committing errors. Eventually, though, the amount of them caught up. And Toronto knows what to do with their hits, since their hits count. I hope this isn't the new Woody, but all in all, it wasn't the whole series or just today. The defense, it is what it is. No big deal, Mark. I agree. It's not the end of the world. Alex from Oshkosh. Tough loss for the Brewers. This one got ugly once Woodruff had those 3 unearned runs. You know, on the Terang play, good thing still took 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays, and 21-9 in August is nothing to cough at. So on that play with Terang, again to reiterate, I tweeted this on my Twitter at Dom_Cotroneo. With Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up, runner on first and one out, Bryce was played toward the middle, and Monasterio was played in a pull shift deep at short, given it's a powerful right-handed hitter who hits balls 115 miles an hour on routine. So the miscommunication, I think, stemmed pre-pitch. These are communicated every pitch, every batter. These guys will say who's got the bag. Now, it's not Little League in the big leagues where you say, oh, the ball's to the right side. That has to be the shortstop, covering second base. Not necessarily. That's not how this works, because Turang's the closest one to it. What Turang, I think, would tell you is he misread it, thinking that ball was going to get by Andrew Vaughn, who made a very nice play. And if it does get by Andrew Vaughn, Turang has to hustle out to shallow right field to be ready for a double cut situation. If it's a ball in the corner, you need to make sure that Guerrero isn't getting a triple, and maybe there's a relay to be coming at the plate. So that's why he took a step to his left if that was going to get by Andrew Vaughn, but it didn't. And that little delay forces him to get back to second base, and the miscommunication occurs. Monasterio crashing in on second base, even though Turang's also crashing in on second base. To me, just amateur observer here, that tells me that the communication was that it was Turang's bag, and Turang was supposed to be there. And Monasterio's instincts took him to the bag, saying, oh, well, ball to the other side, I got to go get to second base. But given that they both went there on a ball to the right side, Bryce was prepared to go to second base, which I think is where that play broke down. And I know it's unfortunately an error on Andrew Vaughn, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. Let's create a team error column, kind of like a dead ball rebound in the NBA, where not one person gets credited with the error, but the team gets credited for it, because you can say with clearly, like, Andrew Vaughn threw to a vacated base. You could say, oh, that's an error. Well, there were two guys on the base. Someone's got to knock it down. Or even on sun balls, right, when balls fall between the left fielder and the shortstop, balls that need to be caught, right? Not the sinking liners. I'm saying the balls that are up in the air for 10 seconds, and then the fielders look at each other like, oh, yeah, I thought you had it. No, I had it. That's an error too. But they aren't called errors in the way that the rule book is written at this point. But hey, shake it off. The Brewers do not give up a lot of unearned runs. They had a blip on the radar today. They will survive. We'll hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, coming up next. A quick update out in Denver. We're headed to the bottom of the ninth. It is 5-5, a scoreless top of the ninth inning for Juan Mejia, as the Rockies will try to walk off the Cubs and salvage the finale of that series in Denver. We'll hear from the manager up next on 620 WTMJ.
Hey, ESPN Milwaukee fans, Brian Balaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, Cider.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
The 1. Lifted deep to left. Backing up on it is Lucas. Still back. Onto the track, watching it fly. Goodbye, Bryce Terang. What a way to cap off his powerful month of August. It's an opposite field blast to get the Brewers back within a run, 4-3, leading off the 3rd.
What a month for Bryce Terang. It's our Surfside play of the game despite the defeat. Proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers, Surfside iced tea and vodka, Surfside lemonade and vodka, paired perfectly with the day at the ballpark and stocked at American Family Field all season long. When you look at the leaderboard in the month of August for the National League, Bryce Terang's at the top of a lot of different categories right now. For players with at least 75 plate appearances here, so not just pinch hitters or part-time players, guys that play every day. Terang, top in OPS, 1092 OPS. Terang, a 343 batting average, is currently fifth in August, actually tied with his teammate Joey Ortiz, who had 75 plate appearances on the nose. Francisco Lindor had 350. Brenton Doyle had 344, but Coors. 10 homers from Bryce Terang is the second most in the month, tied with Juan Soto and Kyle Schwarber. So, let me just get out in front of this right now. If Kyle Schwarber or Juan Soto win Player of the Month over Bryce Terang, you have full authority from me, stamp it, East Coast bias. Because the best team in baseball had the best performance of his career in the month of August, Bryce Terang, leading multiple categories, has 10 home runs. The team has played extremely well over this stretch. Of course, they had the 14 in a row at the start of the month, too. Bryce Terang's the Player of the Month for August. If there is any other headline coming up later this week, it's wrong. It's flat out wrong. And you should say so, and you should, get your torches and pitchforks. I'm just kidding. But am I? Quite frankly, the runner-up could be William Contreras. He hit his 9th homer of the month today. So congrats to Bryce in advance. Maybe even the Brewers get both the player and the pitcher of the month, given Freddie Peralta only allowed 1 earned run in his 5 starts this month. Food for thought. Brewers fall today 8-4. The manager wasn't happy, but he still put it in perspective. Here's Pat Murphy.
Just some uncharacteristic mistakes defensively and on the bases. What did you think of the mistakes today?
You can't play defense like that and base run like that, and we can't play like that and win, especially against a team so good as the Blue Jays. So chalk it up to, we haven't played like that in a while, but very uncharacteristic, but unacceptable. I mean, certainly unacceptable. That's not us, and but it was today. So.
Was it surprising to see it kind of pile up?
It was. It was more surprising, like, well, where's our focus? Now, the guys, I can make excuses all you want, but the bottom line is, yeah, we've played 18 games in 17 days. Here's the thing. It's unacceptable. It doesn't matter. Oh, there might be more of a reason, whatever. Okay, but it's unacceptable. So I'll go with that.
Murphy had clawed your way back in. It was 4-4 going into the 5th inning. It's kind of that tipping point there. Bases loaded, nobody out, didn't score.
Yeah, hit a ball right at the pitcher. That happens. If that gets through, we score a run. Big strikeout and a really good pitch from a reliever just came in the game. And then, I don't know what the next guy did, but didn't get him in. So, yeah, that happens. I mean, it doesn't happen to us too often, but it's happened to other teams a lot. So.
In the bottom of that inning, then, those 2 fly balls where Jackson and Isaac kind of converge, those are catchable fly balls, aren't they? Would you, in your opinion?
Yeah, you have to be. The outfield was very tough today. You watched the right fielder not catch a ball. The outfield was very tough today, and it's where you're positioned. So you have to kind of see that. You have to see where they're positioned, and we'll look into that. But we can't start questioning whether those guys are good players, and maybe they could have caught him. I don't know. I didn't look at it again, but I just felt like the defense in general wasn't in sync.
How about Woody?
I thought Woody was very good. Woody was very good. He deserved better. Nobody can pitch with that defense, and nobody can pitch with things. He had a couple balls just fall in front of the outfielders that, because of this field and the big hop and all that kind of stuff, it messes with them a little bit. The turf messes with them a little as far as bounces in the outfield. So, yeah, I thought Woody did a really nice job. The leadoff walk, there was a couple things that weren't typical of him, but I thought he did a really nice job. He should have been out of the first inning, so now you're cruising a little bit, and might have been a different game, but I thought he threw the ball well.
Pat, your offense has been very prolific kind of all season, but 45 home runs in August. What does that added pop sort of add to this group?
Yeah, I mean, I think home runs are thrown. You know what I mean? So I think that you got to get pitches to hit and be ready to hit those pitches. And usually you've worked yourself into a count or had yourself ready for that pitch. So I think that they're capable. That doesn't mean that, sometimes they don't give you a pitch to hit out. So you have to do what you do in that pitch to win that pitch to get the next pitch. So that's what it comes down to. But the surge of it, and then all of a sudden we didn't teach people how to hit with power. It's in a lot of guys. They got to get the pitches to do it with.
So that was the Brewers' offense today. But here, coming across the wire, breaking news. We go live to Denver. Big moment at Coors Field.
Down the line. I thought for a moment Bush caught it. Ritter to third. Gonzalez will send it. He's going to score easily. Mickey Moniak has done it. And the Rockies walk off the Cubs 6-5.
All right, there's some good news for you. The Brewers don't lose any ground in the Central. The Rockies walk off the Cubs. The Brewers are still 6.5 games clear in the Central. Let's just take a quick lap, give you stock at the holiday weekend. Labor Day is kind of like that final post. They're down the home stretch. We got to use it. September starts tomorrow. Let's preview it next on 620 WTMJ.
It's the Oak Creek Lions Fest Friday through Labor Day, and this year's lineup is rocking with 3 live music venues, family fun, games, carnival rides, the Oak Creek Lions Big Money $8,000 cash raffle, helicopter rides, and live local band favorites jamming every day. Featuring great food with Friday's fish fry, Saturday's famous steak sandwiches, along with their ever-popular pork and beef sandwiches on Sunday and Monday. All 3 stages will be playing great hits with the hottest in local live music from American Graffiti, Bella Kane, Third Coast Blues Collective, Florit, The Toys, The Blues Disciples, Line Dance, 33 RPM, and Reverend Raven and Westside Andy with the Chain-Smoking Altar Boys, along with many other great bands. Don't miss the 2025 Oak Creek Lions Fest, 2 miles east of I-94 and 3 blocks north of Ryan Road at 9327 South Shepherd Avenue. Free admission, free parking. Friday through Labor Day, it's Oak Creek Lions Fest. Find out more at oakcreeklions.com. oakcreeklions.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for CertaPro Painters. They painted our house, the outside of the house, fantastic. They did the parts in the sun, the parts in the shade, the parts on the north side, the parts on the south side. They paid attention to detail the whole way. They went the extra mile all day long. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or your business. They do both. They pay a lot of attention. They took a lot of time with our house, and it looks absolutely perfect. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. They're the real deal. They're the best in the business. It's CertaPro Painters.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
This is Brewers Extra Innings. What's coming up for the crew? This is your window to what's ahead. Brought to you by Window Nation.
All right, day baseball tomorrow, Labor Day. Hope you enjoy your holiday with Dollar Dogs at the ballpark. 3:10, first pitch. Phils and Brewers with a stop-and-start series. Taijuan Walker for the Phillies. Jacob Mizorowski for the Brewers. Then the off day on Tuesday. Back to 6:40 on Wednesday. That one will feature Jose Quintana and Aaron Nola. And then on Thursday, it'll be back to 3:10. Not a night game nor a day game. 3:10. That'll be Ranger Suarez and Freddie Peralta. So that is the upcoming series for the Brewers. Our window ahead is brought to you by Window Nation. Right now, you can get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. Hurry, the sale ends soon. Trust Window Nation and schedule your free estimate now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. So, if the playoffs started tomorrow, just to give you the feel of the way things are looking right now, and by the way, just going ahead and calling it a final in Los Angeles, they're up 4-1 on the Diamondbacks right now in the top of the 7th inning. So let's call that 78 wins for the Dodgers. It doesn't matter for this, but it matters for the head-to-heads because right now, the Phillies have the East. They're up by 6.5 in the East with 79 wins. The Dodgers have the West by only 1.5 games over San Diego, but San Diego lost today, so that's going to be 2 games here by the end of the day at 78 and 59. The Phillies and the Dodgers have one more head-to-head series, September 15th, 16th, and 17th. It is at Dodger Stadium. These two teams haven't met for a while, in fact. They met back in April, and the Phillies won that series 2 out of 3, so it's only a 6 games. If the Dodgers win the series, then you have to go to divisional tiebreakers if they end up tied. So we'll keep an eye on that series and give you the update when it needs to be, but that's still not for a couple of weeks' time. That's a big series to keep an eye out for. If the playoffs started tomorrow, though, the Brewers would be the 1 seed, the Phillies would be the 2 seed, the Dodgers would be in the wild card round, hosting a best-of-3 against the New York Mets. Now, as the wild card goes right now, the Mets have separated from the Reds. Now, the Reds did win, the Mets did lose today, but it's still a 4-game difference. They meet one more time for the last time next week. San Diego would be going to Chicago for a best-of-3 there, and that's the series that would match up with the Brewers, because the Brewers are guaranteed to face a wild card if they're the 1 seed in the divisional series. So keep that in mind moving forward for the playoffs. So the things that we're going to keep an eye on, the Cubs still have a 2-game lead on San Diego for the top wildcard spot. The top wildcard spot is important because then you get to host that wildcard series. Then San Diego is 3 games clear of the New York Mets. They also will meet one more time this year. San Diego is still in a weird rut right now, but they get Baltimore and Colorado and Cincinnati and Colorado all in a row before they see the Mets again, one more time with the Mets that same week that the Phillies and Dodgers play each other. So that's exciting. That's pretty fun there, too. But for the Padres, they swept the Mets in San Diego back in July. So they just need to get 1 win, and they get that tiebreaker, which could be huge for their playoff chances. That is going to do it for our program here today. Our producer has been Evan Witalison. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Talk to you at 2 o'clock tomorrow for warm-up. Keep on swinging.
Get away with huge savings at Hyundai West Allis during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can make your best deal and save an additional $500 on a new Hyundai, or get 0% for 60